Welcome guys to the MeetDamian live stream. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're going to be talking about the price of Bitcoin and how it's being affected by what's going on in the Middle East, and what kind of peace talks we might be getting or might not be getting going into Wednesday. I believe Wednesday evening is when Donald Trump is going to make the decision as to whether or not they're going to attack Iran's bridges and power plants, and the ceasefire should be coming to an end around that time. Right now, just because we have talks about potential peace talks and I believe Pakistan, you're seeing the price of Bitcoin continuing to try to march up to higher prices. We did see 78K on Friday after we heard about the Strait of Hormuz opening up, but then on Saturday, or was it Sunday? Either Saturday or Sunday. I believe it was Saturday that we had two oil tankers get hit by Iranian gunfire, and another cargo ship that got hit as well. And then on Sunday we heard of the United States actually taking over an Iranian oil tanker that tried to leave the Strait of Hormuz and was not listening to the United States about the blockade that they have. So we have a blockade and we have a ceasefire, but yet Iran is shooting at oil tankers, and the United States is also shooting at oil tankers. So, I mean, does that mean the ceasefire has already been broken? Because they're over here still shooting. Just now they're shooting at civilian ships now, which, I'm not sure why the markets want to continue marching up to higher prices on that. But they are, because I guess there's potential peace talks. But I've also heard that Iran is not going to actually meet with the United States for peace talks until they get rid of the blockade altogether, as well as some other things that they think the United States is being too excessive on their demands. So yeah, I think that the Iranians are yanking the chain for the Americans, and the Americans, Donald Trump is hoping for peace, but he's not going to get it. So they're going to have to go back to a shooting war again, and that should send the price of Bitcoin down lower. You can see I have a short signal here that came off. This is a super short signal from the DeluxeAlgo indicator that came off on Sunday, April 12th. Surprisingly enough, we have continued pumping up to higher prices here, but I'm not sure how much longer this is going to last. This super short signal does take a lot of things into consideration. Sometimes the signal will fire off a little bit early before the price actually, follows through with, downward price action here. But we are getting a short signal here. So for those who like looking at signals and looking for a signal, you did get a short signal here. The last long signal that you had was April 4th, and that got canceled out by this short signal here. So I'm a little bit wary about prices going up to higher prices here. But if they continue on marching higher, I think everybody's talking about 80K. But there's another level above us at 84K. The 84K was an area that acted as support back in November and December of last year. Acted as support again towards the end of December here. I think that's going to be the level that's going to act as resistance, because you have to think about the people who bought here and thought they were buying the bottom of Bitcoin at 84K. Yeah, they were wrong. Okay, and if they're not full believers in Bitcoin, they're probably going to, when they get back to break even at 84K, they're probably going to sell some of their Bitcoin or all their Bitcoin if they're going to do that. And you can join them by clicking the sell button if Bitcoin does get up to 84K. It's about $9,000 away from where we are right now. Let's see. I can see a few people joining the TikTok stream here, and I also see we got some guys here on YouTube. I see DZ asking about VVV once more. K Grant in the chat. Good to see you, K Grant. And I see Kevin Hawthorne saying good evening. Good evening to you as well, Kevin. Let's see. So I will have to take a look at VVV as the next crypto after this. But if you guys have other requests here besides Bitcoin, we are going to try to look at the price of oil at some point here too. But if you guys do have requests for any cryptos or stocks, go ahead and shoot away. Let me know what cryptos you want to take a look at and what stocks you want to take a look at. And we can also look at commodities too here as well. Tawanda Honda 56 says Bitcoin long or short. I got it right there in front of you. This is on the daily time frame. My DeluxeAlgo indicator, it gives me a signal and it's telling me to short Bitcoin right now. Okay. Granted, we push up the higher prices, but sometimes it takes some time for these signals to work themselves through the charts here. But I do have a short signal here. Okay. Now let's go into like maybe the 4-hour chart and the 1-hour chart to see if that also is giving us long or short signals here. And on the 4-hour chart, I do have ever so slightly, I see bearish divergence showing up here. Okay. I got magenta lines showing up. I don't know if it's that. I probably need to make it a little bit more obvious, but there you go. There's my signals once again saying that we need to be shorting Bitcoin right now. Okay. But let's look at the bearish divergence, because it did say that there was some bearish divergence here. Ever so slightly. You can see that we had a high here on the RSI at 74.8 on April 6th. And then the last high was at 73.64. And in the meantime, Bitcoin's been going up to higher prices. So you are creating some bearish divergence already on Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart. Let's go into the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart's like usually good for like the day traders. That's usually where I get started with my day trading time frames here. And on the 1-hour chart, you see that Bitcoin is marching up into the right. Yeah, we had a slight correction here going into like Sunday, but then we march our way back up. And the 1-hour time frame is showing that some long signals here, okay? Some long signals that came in on Monday morning, probably while you were sleeping or late last night. And those signals got fired off here before we had the morning trading with Wall Street. And Wall Street came in and they decided to pick the ball and run with it. And they're marching the price of Bitcoin up to higher prices here too. So yeah, it looks like maybe we might get, I think, one more run up here to higher prices before we start rolling over to lower prices here on Bitcoin. Okay. So if you're in it for the day trading, right? Maybe, just maybe you can if you're already in a long, you can probably stay in a long. But I mean, ever so slightly, you can see that we actually dropped down in price ever so slightly here. I mean, if you want a long here and just stop loss below maybe this candlewick low here, that's an idea if you're trying to day trade this. All right, you already had a little bit of a pullback, so you got a little bit of correction, better prices to get in at. So I think maybe short term you could try to long Bitcoin. But you know what? Before I even say that, let me just check the MACD here. MACD is showing on the 1-hour time frame buying pressure dying down. All right, so I don't know if long it even makes sense. Maybe we might be seeing lower prices later on tonight. Okay. I was just trying to be bullish, just try to give you a little bit of a bullish case here, but the bullish case was last night. It was telling you the long, okay, on the 1-hour time frame. But we might have seen all we're gonna get for a rally here, and we might actually roll over to lower prices here. Flo Orion says, where possible buy price? Possible buy price for Bitcoin if you're in it for the long term here. Let's go back to the daily time frame here. Daily time frame, one level to look for that has been holding up pretty well here is 73K. That's only a couple of grand from where we are right now, but 73K has acted as resistance, and it's kind of acting as support right now. If you want to get in, if you're anxious to get into Bitcoin and you just want to get like maybe Bitcoin at a couple of grand lower than what it is right now, then I think 73K could be a support buy zone area. But if that's not going to hold up, and if you're able to wait to be a little bit more patient, I think 67K, we've seen that act as support and resistance all throughout February, March, and going into April here. Okay. And then even better than that would be if you're able to get it, and you probably should put your buy limit order in, because it could happen while you're sleeping or if you're away from the computer. But we got 63K, where we've seen that when Bitcoin does go down to 63K, it doesn't stay there for too long. And we end up getting buying pressure to the point where we can't even close the day at 63K before we get pushed right back up to like 64 or 65K. Okay. So I think if you're in it for the long term and you want some cheaper Bitcoin and you're able to wait and be patient, and also put in your limit orders in so it can get filled while you're sleeping or if you're away from the computer, I would try to target 63K And for my day traders out there who are bearish on Bitcoin, if you're trying to like short Bitcoin right now, I wouldn't push your luck too far. I think if you do see Bitcoin go down to 63K, you should take profit on your short, because we just don't know if we're going to break through 63K or not. This might actually end up being the bear market low for Bitcoin that we're witnessing right now is 63K. But if we come down and visit there, there might be a lot of people that want to buy Bitcoin at 63K, because you got to think about it for a second. At 63K, if Bitcoin goes back to 126K, you're going to double your money in Bitcoin. And that's good enough for a lot of people out there that just want to double their money in the next 2 to 3 years using Bitcoin. You could do that at 63K. Doodle says the 77,900 short, what do we do with that right now? Were you able to get in at a short at 77,900? That's a good area to get to short Bitcoin if that's what you were able to do. I would hold on to that short. If you're anxious about taking profits, you can take a little bit of partial profits, but I would hold on to that short. I don't know if we're gonna break past 78K or not, unless we get a peace deal with Iran and the ceasefire gets extended again. If it gets extended again for like another 2 weeks, then I think Bitcoin might have the ability to go up to 80K. All right, Haas. Yes, I got you. You want to take a look at VVV? I had someone else that wanted to look at VVV as well. I got you on that. Just give me a second here. We'll go ahead and take a look at VVV, because that was a request that I also got from DZ over here on YouTube. So let's go ahead and look at Venice token, which has been one of the more bullish coins here. More bullish than Bitcoin itself, in Ethereum and Solana. Okay, we're looking at the daily time frame for VVV. It's currently trading at $9.54. I do got some previous chart work on here. Let me just zoom in a little bit. VVV is, as you see with these spider lines here, this is showing like bearish divergence is starting to show up on the chart. That's considered bearish. Doesn't mean that you can't continue going up to higher prices, but it's giving you like a warning that we should probably take profit on our longs here on VVV and maybe entertain the idea of going short. Now, I have drawn a Fibonacci from like $8.49 all the way down to like $1.63, as low as I saw VVV here in February. And we do got some levels to look for to the upside. I think VVV might be marching its way up to this 1272 at $10.36. That's the target to be looking for the near term. Long term or medium term, we got a 1618 that says that VVV could probably get up to like $12.74 before maybe we get like a blow off top and we drop down to lower prices here. So I think 10 to 12 bucks should be your target for taking some profit on VVV if you haven't done so already. Also, with my signals indicator here, my DeluxeAlgo signals indicator, you can see that we are getting these short signals showing up here. It fired off here on April 12th. It also fired off again here on April 5th, about a week before that. So we're pushing our luck here with VVV. And you got the bearish divergence here, so I'm more worried about this thing probably rolling down to lower prices. And if it does go down to lower prices here, it looks like we got some sideways trading action going on here at $7, which also happens to be the 786 retracement level. But an even more normal and healthier pullback would be coming down to the 618 golden pocket at $5.87. I think this is where we would be lucky to buy some VVV at lower prices if it does go down to like $6 here. Zenton says, what is that app? So I am looking on TradingView here, okay? But if you're interested in getting these here, right, the DeluxeAlgo signal, you would have to go to my TikTok page here. Don't forget to follow me if you haven't done so already. All right, this is the MeetDamian TikTok, okay? And then here in the bio, you see the link tree. You click on that link tree link. It'll take you over here to MeetDamian link tree, where you can join my MeetDamian Discord server, which is free to join if you want to do that. And then we also got the DeluxeAlgo indicators here. You click on this link, it will take you over to DeluxeAlgo's website. And here, you can see that the DeluxeAlgo market analysis signals, that is being on sale right now. I'm not sure how long this sale is going to last, so maybe you might want to take advantage of this now rather than later. But for a one-time fee, you can only pay $49.99 to get these signals here, where normally it would be about $199 to do these signals. It's a one-time fee, but you get 3 powerful indicators here, all in one trading system. Okay, you get the DeluxeAlgo trading indicator, you get the DeluxeAlgo money flow divergence indicator, and the Deluxe trap radar signals indicator here. Okay, and that's what you see when you look at my chart here. You see the DeluxeAlgo signals here, and then you also see the DeluxeAlgo. When I get into money flow here, you'll see that I got the money flow indicator showing me the money flow going into VVV right now, and it also gives me the green buy dots, red sell dots, telling me like when to sell, when to buy. Okay, when it might be a good idea to buy or sell based on that indicator there. Okay, so check it out for yourself. If it makes sense to you. Obviously, I get commission for you using the referral link, and you using that referral link is how you're gonna get that 75% off deal. So you don't have to pay $200. It's only gonna be $50, $49 for those signals. All right, let's see. Kyle says 68K in a week or so. Doodle says big sell wall at 75,000, 76,000. Yeah, that's actually like where I entered my short on Bitcoin. I didn't get 78K, so. Whoever got in at like 77,900, kudos to you. I think I might have been sleeping at the time or away from the computer when that happened. And I was probably in some other trades besides Bitcoin. But kudos to you for shorting Bitcoin at 77,900. I got in at 76K. That's where I shorted Bitcoin. All right, let's see. It's a little bit quiet here on YouTube. If you guys have any requests, let me know if you guys have any requests. Same thing with my TikTok guys. We're gonna probably get into looking at the price of oil here. Let's see. Hal says, is it a scam coin or legit? I believe VVV is a legit coin. It's trading on Coinbase Exchange. I highly doubt Coinbase would put a scam coin on their exchange here. But VVV has been marching up and to the right for quite a while here. It's not just like a pump and dump. Like this thing has been going up to higher prices starting in December. Yeah, I had a little bit of pullback here in January, just like a lot of other cryptocurrencies did when Bitcoin dropped down to 60K, and then it marched its way back up to higher prices here. So I think VVV might be worth looking into. I don't know completely what kind of real world problems they're trying to solve there at VVV. I probably should, because we've looked at this a few times now. Okay, but you can do your own diligence, do your own research, see if it makes sense to you. I think this thing seems to be a pretty steady coin to be in, but the thing is, I think the rally might be coming to an end soon here. So I don't know. Maybe you could do your research on this, and maybe you could buy at $6 if you're interested in getting involved with VVV here. Flo Ryan says buy or sell US dollar Japan, the US dollar. I don't know if that's the case here. I'm gonna have to look at the charts if that's a request there. We can look at the US dollar to Japan, but I believe the Japanese dollar has been having problems. Like Japan's been having problems with inflation. So let me just see if I can pull that up here. You're looking for the dollar again, right? Let me see. Did it come up? US dollar. I thought I had that here. What is the ticker symbol to US dollar yen? Is it literally USD JPY? Yeah, it looks like it. But now I gotta figure out what exchange I want to look it on. Oh, Forex. Alright, we'll try this one. So we're looking at the US dollar to Japanese yen here, currently trading at $158, I believe, or 158 units to whatever the Japanese dollar is. And this is looking like this is showing some bearish divergence. And look, my signals indicator is telling us that there's we should be looking to short the dollar to yen right now. Let me throw on the moving averages, see if there's anything that we could use for like support here. There's 100 and a 50 moving average right below us at 157 and 156. And there's a 200 moving average at 153. This makes sense for support. You also got like kind of like a double bottom action going on here at 150, 152 and 53. So that's what I'd be looking for potential support action for US dollar to yen here. And now I want to throw on my other indicator here. You guys probably haven't seen this one, but for my guys who've been around, they've seen the VRVP indicator here. The VRVP indicator is the visual range volume profile indicator, showing us the buys and the sells at different price points here for the dollar yen. And it looks like our support level here, we got the value area high, this white line at 154, kind of confluent with this 200 moving average. Also, this 200 moving average, there is support at 153 as well. You can see this volume node here. But the highest volume node, this thing should get the most amount of support at this blue line here. This is your point of control line, and this is sitting at 147. You see that there's been a lot of sideways trading going on here in September, August, and July of last year at that level. I'd expect a lot of support at that area. We got Matty Ghost in the chat. Swarms. Is that a request for swarms? Matty, are you just gonna like put us, give us like the signal here and then just leave? Because last time you were here, you told us to short something, and I was like, hey, this actually looks like a pretty good short, and then you just disappeared on me. I was like, Matty, you found a good one, and I was like, oh, you must have been like giving us like a stock tip or something, because like he just came in, he told us, and then he left. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a sell, yeah, for the US dollar yen here. That's what I'm seeing here. You got, I already can see here the bearish divergence. You got the short signals here. I mean, you're kind of at the highest levels you've been at since July of 2024. I don't know if it's going to go any higher than where it is right now. We look like we're probably due for a correction. I can see that we have some lower highs showing off here. You know, high. Lower high, lower high. We're kind of also making lower lows here. We haven't really broken this low here on March 19th, but if we break that low at 157, yeah, it's going to be a nasty sell-off down the lower prices here for the dollar yen. So yeah, I think we go to 153, but you know, don't be surprised if it gets nasty out there and we drop down to 147. Okay. All right, moving on from USD JPY, we are going to now look at the price of oil. Oil currently trading at $89 right now. Let's see. I want to let me move my chart over, zoom in a little bit. I'm going to take the VRVP off for now. But the price of oil got a bounce off here on Friday off the 50-day moving average, and we actually spiked below it, but we were able to close above it. So this 50-day moving average, this green line, should be acting as support for the price of oil. And right now that's currently sitting at $85, $85.89 here. That would be a better buy to be buying oil if you can. If you're still going to remain bullish here on oil, can we remain bullish on oil? Let's look at the money flow. Is money flow fine and dandy? Money flow is kind of descending down. We're losing some money flow here on oil. Also, momentum is to the downside here, and I got a hyperwave here. Okay, this hyperwave is in the red right now. It's been in the red ever since March 18th. Okay, so money flow kind of dropping here. Hyperwave is also negative here for for WTI here, and it makes sense. I mean, if you look at the chart, we have dropped down to lower prices since our March 18th high. Okay, was it March 18th? No, we got actually a high here on April 7th. April 7th, we got up to 118 bucks here, and then a couple of days after that, here on April 9th, we had this short signal here for oil. So you know that short signal fired off, and sure enough, we've been dropping down the lower prices here, but it looks like for now the 50-day moving average is saving your butt here from going to lower prices. Okay, I guess we're just waiting for a long signal. We haven't had a long signal in a while here on oil, at least on a daily time frame. If you see a long signal get fired off, then I think you should be trying to long oil to higher prices here. And if that's the case, I mean, what would the higher price level be for oil? There is a $95 level that I highlighted on the chart. that has acted as resistance back here in September of 2023. So I think that it should be noted on the chart here for oil. Also, you got the 21 EMA could push you down here, and that's sitting at 97 bucks. So if we get up to like 95, 97, 99 dollars, I feel like oil trailers might be a little bit hesitant to push the price above 100 bucks until they feel confident and solid that, you know, it's going to stick above $100 here. Let's see. K Grant's in the chat. K Grant says, check out Netflix. They're down 8% in the last 5 days. I'll go ahead and write that down. Thank you for that request there, K Grant. How you doing, K Grant? Let's see. So Netflix, I believe that's NFLX. And was there any other requests besides Netflix for now? Oh, Swarm. Matty Ghost, was that a request for Swarm, or are you just giving us like stock tips here? I think I might look at Netflix until I find out if Matty Ghost is in the chat and still wants to look at Swarms. Dizzle says Netflix just raised their price again. They raised their what? Their earnings targets. Is that what you meant by that? Sweet Patch, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Flo Ryan says Bitcoin long buy. What price to long, please? I think I gave it earlier in the live stream. I said if you're anxious to get into Bitcoin right now, you could probably wait a couple more $1,000 and try to long at 73K. But also 67 and then 63K are better areas to be long in Bitcoin. Thank you, Kay, for giving out that nice compliment there about my technical analysis on YouTube. Appreciate that. All right, let's see. All right, so I guess we'll just take a look at Netflix now. I kind of give you guys upside targets for oil. $97, $99 is I think the next upside targets, and downside targets for oil. Stay above the 50-day moving average, or else you might come down to lower prices. You might actually hit 78, 75 bucks here for oil. All right, moving on from oil. Take a look at Netflix. Oh, a Netflix split has occurred. There was a stock split on November 17th of 2025. Do I want to adjust my drawing? Sure, I guess I'll adjust the drawings. Sure. Okay. We're on the daily time frame here for Netflix. We have looked at this in the past before. Just cleaning up some previous chart work here. My signals indicator right off the bat is telling me that we should be long in Netflix, and that signal fired off here on March 26th. So I don't see anything that says that we need to short it. However, you can see that 200-day moving average. This is the red line here, and that is acting as resistance. And look, sure enough, we only did like 1 or 2 days above it before we dropped down. We gapped down here. And this is what I think you meant by we were down 8%, huh? In the last 5 days. If I just draw from like where we ended the day here, we ended the day at $97. Wait, what is that? Yeah, no. We ended the day here on April 16th at $107. And we started the next week here, or the next day here, down 9%. Yikes. Almost 10%. Wow. Okay. So this is a gap here, and usually when you see gaps in the chart, they usually do get filled up. So I think at some point you will see this gap get filled. Doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately, like this week or next week. But it could happen, you know, within the next few weeks, the next few months here, where we could see Netflix get right back up to where it was at 108 bucks here. I mean, we did have the super long signal that came in here. Let's see what the MACD is looking like. Do we have momentum to the upside? Nope. MACD showing a MACD crossover to the downside. Ooh. I'm not sure what Netflix is doing right now, but it's looking like it wants to go down to lower prices, or at least the stock wants to go down to lower prices here. That's a shame. And then let's see here on the money flow indicator here. You got a red sell dot that came in last Friday, April 17th. And I can see my hyperwave is now turning negative here. We had the hyperwave in the green for about a couple of weeks here. Now it's turning red. And then you got the red sell dot. So it looks like we could be seeing lower prices here for Netflix. So now I kind of have an idea what the direction might be for the stock. What are price levels to look for below us? We do got the 100 and the 50-day at $92. We're not that too far off from that. So these moving averages, they could provide temporary support. You also got some sideways trading action going on at like 91, 92 bucks here. This is where the super long got fired off at. But man, if we go lower than that, let's see, the VRVP indicator could give you some levels to look for. Got a volume node here, a high volume node here at $83. You might want to mark that on your chart here. You might be able to get Netflix for like $10 cheaper than what you can get it for right now. And you got a high volume node right there. Kind of also got like another high volume here at like 80, 81 bucks here, so keep that in mind. But then you also got some more volume here at like 76 bucks, and that's it. If we lose 76 bucks, then man, how much lower could Netflix go? Let's see, we've been going up and to right for a while here on Netflix. But I do see like high volume here between like 60 and 65. So like 60 and 65 could be some more targets to the downside if 76 and 83 don't hold up here. And we'll just take it one day at a time. But I think that's, I think those are targets you should be looking for now is like 83 and 76 here on Netflix. Those are your downside targets here. Oh, Matty Ghost is still here. Okay, Matty Ghost, just double checking there, making sure you're still there. We'll take a look at Swarm. Did you want to look at Swarm for a long or a short? You said Swarm in the 2 second. You want me to look at the 2 second chart? I don't think I have that. And I think I have like TradingView Premium. I don't know if they'll let me do 2 second chart. I could try. Oh my god, there's a 1 second chart and a 5 second chart. You want to take a look at Swarm for a short, okay? Let's do it. Swarm USD. What exchange you like trading Swarm on? I guess I'll try looking on MEXC. Usually MEXC's got some good volume on it. Oh, it's 0.02 right now. Okay, yep, I see that. Yeah, so Swarm is currently trading at 2 cents right now. And it's down slightly today. Well, today started about an hour ago. The new day has started for cryptocurrency world. But let's see. Let me zoom in here a little bit, see what the candle is like for Monday here. You were up 7% today. So you had a somewhat decent day here on Swarms. And I'm just going to leave, I think I'm going to leave the VRVP indicator on here. Swarm is going up and to the right. What leads you to believe that we should try to short Swarm right now? I see that we're contending up against the highs that we had here in December of last year. It's an idea. But like, what if we continue being bullish here on Swarms? I don't have, my DeluxeAlgo indicator is not showing me any bearish divergence. I want to see like, why are you interested in taking a short right now on Swarms? We got a high on the RSI back here on Saturday, April 11th at 80. And yeah, RSI is now at 68. I mean, it could be potentially trying to create some bearish divergence here, maybe. Maybe that's what you were looking at. On the MACD is fine. You got buying pressure still. Not as strong as it was a week ago. But there's still buying pressure. If I saw the buying pressure dying down and I saw the blue line curving down, I would be more interested in shorting Swarm on the daily time frame here. And then let's see here on money flow, the money flow divergence indicator by DeluxeAlgo. Money flow's in the green, and you had a green buy dot that came in today. There's no red sell dot. Red sell dot was like on Saturday, but then that gets canceled out by this green buy dot today. And then this hyperwave is still in the green. It's been in the green ever since Saturday, March 21st. At some point, you know, it will be worth taking a short on Swarm, but I just don't know if that's today or even tomorrow. I don't know if you want to be shorting. Maybe you're trying to do scalping. You might be doing like maybe something on the 1 hour time frame that's showing you something here. On the 1 hour time frame, I'm starting to see some short signals show up here. And then, is there ever so slightly bearish divergence? It probably is some ever so slightly bearish divergence here. Yeah, it's ever so slightly, barely, on the 1 hour time frame. DZ says, did anyone buy Rave? I know who didn't buy Rave. DZ didn't buy Rave. Sorry, DZ. But are you asking, did anyone buy Rave today? I didn't buy Rave. Did you buy Rave? Can we do a poll here? Does anybody here that we know of bought Rave today or yesterday after the crash that we got this weekend? I see we got the crypto chick is in the chat here. She says Netflix price keeps rising. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Is this the real crypto chick here? The actual crypto chick? I don't know. I know the real crypto chick. I actually seen her live streams, and I messaged her, and she didn't message me back. So I'm assuming that you're probably not the real crypto chick unless you live stream me and you message me back here after you've done your live stream. I'm hesitant to be like, oh yeah, this is the actual real crypto chick here. Let's see. Flo Ryan wants to take a look at gold. Okay, let me go ahead and write that down. And then we got a request for near. So we'll take a look at the price of gold, and then we'll take a look at the price of near protocol. Just writing these things down. If you see, this is my I got my whiteboard here. And DZ, was that a request for wave, or you just asking? You trying to put like a question here? Did anybody else buy Rave? I didn't buy Rave. I wish someone told me to buy Rave 2 weeks ago. And then I wish someone would have told me to sell Rave on Friday night. Dizzle said he longed Rave today. Did very good watching it now for another entry. All right, so there you go, DZ. We got someone here on TikTok that said they actually longed Rave today. Just curious, what price did you get in that Dizzle? Hopefully it was near the lows for today. Hopefully you got the lowest possible price you could ask for today. All right, let's see. We're gonna look at the price of gold now, because that was a request here by Flo Orion. And we'll get to the daily time frame here for gold. Gold currently trading at $4,822. Looks like gold is just it's trying to march its way back up to higher prices after getting a significant drop here towards the middle of March. We bounced off the 200-day moving average, kind of front ran it a little bit. We didn't actually touch it, but I mean, this is close enough, okay? And this is sending us up to higher prices, but not too high, because the 50-day moving average, this green line, is now acting as resistance, and that's sitting at 48.90 roughly. So I think 48.90 is going to be a problem until it's no longer a problem. And then maybe after that, if we are going to go to higher prices, maybe we can march our way back up to the 786 retracement at 5,200, where we got some sideways trading action going on here. But you can see, like, this is where the short signals started coming in. saying that, hey, you should probably short gold. And had you had those DeluxeAlgo indicators here, or if you came onto my stream and asked about the price of gold, I would have shown you that, you know, that it was time to short gold here, and you would have been the benefactor of shorting it. Or maybe if you're not able to short gold, if you're just, you know, a buyer and seller of spot gold here, you could have sold your spot gold. You could have went to the jewelry store and sold your gold at higher prices here, and then maybe go back again like a week or 2 weeks later and buy it again here. But we didn't get a long signal here yet on gold, so this has me a little bit worried. Like, are we gonna now make another lower high here and then roll over to lower prices here? Because if we are gonna roll over to lower prices, what are the levels to look for below us? Levels to look for, I think, is gonna be this 0.382 retracement at 4,500. I have this already marked on the chart here, but this is a level to be looking for below us. And then after that, we got the 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average sitting at 42.05. That'd be a better area to try in the long gold. And it's also an area that, you know, if you sold your gold, you can buy back in again at that 200-day moving average. T-Man, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Yeah, there are no buy signals here on gold, at least not on the daily time frame. There might be something on the maybe like the 4-hour time frame or the 1-hour time frame. I just put on the 4-hour time frame right now. Even on the 4-hour time frame, you get a little bit of bearish divergence starting to show up here on gold. And I don't see any signals here. Oh, wait, no, they just fired up right now. 4-hour time frame is showing the long. That's interesting. Let's go into the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, is there anything good going here on the 1-hour time frame? Just waiting for the signals to fire up here. Sometimes it takes like 10-20 seconds for these signals indicators to digest all the information and be like, all right, time to long or time to short. And on the 1-hour time frame, it's telling you to short. So, you know, you got some conflicting signals here. Like the 1-hour time frame tells you to short, but the 4-hour time frame tells you to long gold. And then the daily time frame, you don't have any signals here except for the short signals that happened back in the beginning of March. So I'd be wary. I mean, whether you need to use the signals indicators or not, you could just tell, you could just see that we're kind of like, we're gonna get probably pushed down again by this 50-day moving average, the screen line at 48.90. Until that's no longer a problem. If we can hold above 48.90, then we can get more bullish here on the price of gold. All right, let's move on from gold. We'll take a look at near protocol now. Near currently trading at $1.37. This Monday we went up 2.6%. Nothing too crazy. Nothing to write home to mom about. But look at this. I see bearish divergence here on the daily time frame. Also got a short signal firing up here. It's telling you to short April 15th and April 16th, 17th. So this is not good. This is not good. This could end up being a lower high here compared to this high back here on March 16th. And if we roll over, I mean, where could we go down to lower prices here for near? I would probably eyeball this $1.17, $1.18 level here. Let me throw in the VRVP indicator. I bet it's going to say the same thing. Yeah, there's a high volume node here at $1.16, $1.17. And then you got a value area low. Value area low at the $1.09. Should act as support. So $1.09 to like $1.16. Go ahead and put your buy limit orders in there. But right now, we are kind of chilling at the near the point of control, highest volume node here at $1.35. If you lose $1.35, then yeah, we're probably gonna march our way down to like $1.17, $1.16. Okay. And then here you can see we have the value area high. If we are to push up to higher prices, the value area high is sitting at $1.43. You got to get past $1.43, and then maybe you launch your way up to higher prices. Resistance starts to become less and less as you go to higher prices here. And I would think that the 200-day moving average at $1.65 should be the next level to be trying to take profit or entertain the idea of taking a short on near protocol at $1.65 if we do get up to that 200-day moving average. Right now, I don't know. We need some good news out of the Middle East to push this thing higher, I believe. What is the momentum looking like? Let's look at the MACD indicator. Do we got the momentum to go to higher prices? Hell no, you don't. You got buying pressure dying down. You got a MACD crossover. You got the blue line crossing the orange line to the downside here. You see that? It crossed the blue into the orange to the downside. So you should be seeing selling pressure show up here, like you saw like back here on March 20th. You saw the crossover to the downside. Then you saw all this selling pressure coming in towards the end of March here. I think, you know, this could be a repeat. We could be seeing a repeat of that with Near Protocol. Unless, I don't know, unless we get peace in the Middle East. That's all I can say. Like, I think we really got to hold on to the idea of peace in the Middle East. And if we don't get peace in the Middle East, then I think Near Protocol wants to roll to lower prices here. Doodle says 1,700% negative funding. Is that on Rave? That's crazy if that's the case. Dizzle said EDU USDT. I don't think I ever heard of that one, charted that one before. But I appreciate that request there. EDU. Let's go ahead and take a look at EDU. EDU, okay. Got a nice bullish engulfing green candle here on Monday, up 72% today. All right, I get why you want to take a look at it at the very least. Had a good day today, and it looks like you're getting some follow through for tonight as well. You're up 6%, and it's only been like an hour since the new day started here. Okay. But man, this thing was like on its way down to like hell here, going down and to the right, losing people money. This would have been a great short. Great short. Just constantly making money on the way down. Okay. All right. So, where do I want to get started with this? I want to look at the VRVP indicator before we start looking at the signals and the moving averages here. VRVP is showing that this thing is significantly undervalued. The majority of people that bought EDU bought it at higher prices than where it is right now. Value area low, the lowest of the majority of the people that bought this was at like 12 cents. Then you got the point of control, which is the majority of the people that bought this over the past year now. They bought at that blue line at 14.5 cents. And then you also got some people that bought at this value high at 18 cents. So what does this mean when you see something like this? When you're clearly trading below the value area, the value area low, the value area high, and the point of control, means that there shouldn't be that much selling pressure because anybody that would have sold has already sold. So this thing could pop back up. You don't got that much resistance on the VRVP indicator here. There's a little bit of something here at 10 cents. Maybe 10 cents might be a target to the upside here. Only about 2 cents away from that. But then your next target should be the value area low at about 12, 13 cents here, which happens to be where that 200-day moving average, that red line's at. So that's some confluence right there between the value area low and the 200-day moving average. So that should be a target to the upside, in my opinion here, okay? But let's look at what just happened here. I kind of just showed you the moving averages now. Let's look at what's going on here with the signals indicator. So my DeluxeAlgo indicator is showing me that there's bullish divergence with these green teal lines here. There's bullish divergence showing up. And then you got the super long signal that fired off here on April 13th. And then a few more days after that, about a week later, which would be today, another super long signal that fired off. So, you know, you might be seeing some higher prices here for EDU coin here. I'm curious, like my DeluxeAlgo indicator was showing some bullish divergence here. Let's confirm that by looking at the RSI here real quick. I don't know about that. Yeah, RSI was continuing to go down here. You just had very oversold conditions here on April 4th. RSI was at 11. 30 is considered oversold. 11 is considered extremely oversold. So this thing was extremely oversold beginning of April. But I can see that I can see almost like bullish divergence on the MACD here, where you're making higher lows on the selling pressure while making lower lows on price. So the bullish divergence looks like it was showing up here on the MACD. But I don't know about bullish divergence with that regular RSI. I don't. Yeah. Let me see. What was it trying to sniff out here? Like, you were making lower lows here, and the RSI was making. So I don't know. That's a little bit suspect. I don't know why I even said that. The DeluxeAlgo indicator was saying bullish divergence. Maybe because of the MACD, it must have taken that into account. But the RSI just wasn't showing that. All right. So, anyways, back to EDU. Targets the upside. You can just use the moving averages here. 100-day moving average at 10 cents. We already said that was a high volume node here on the VRVP indicator, and then 13 cents. I think that was a little high volume node there on the VRVP indicator. It was like, think of the value area low. It's like where the value area is at. Let me just put that VRVP indicator back on one more time. But yeah, you can see like this white line. This is your value area low at like 13 cents, and that's also where the 200-day moving average is at. So you should be targeting 10 cents and then 13 cents for your upside targets on EDU. Harry Gonzalez is in the chat here. Harry Gonzalez says, sincerely paying the first 5. You're making some advertisements here. Now I'm going to mute you. Don't be doing that on my chat here. You got to talk to me first before you start advertising your products here on my channel. Dizzle says, 3-minute candles are looking nice. T-Man wants to take a look at silver. Okay, we can take a look at the price of silver for you. Sure. It's probably going to look similar to gold, maybe, I would think. Let me take a swig of water before I get started on this. Jez is asking about the signals indicators here on TradingView. It's a indicator that you have to pay for. It's a DeluxeAlgo indicator. I already mentioned this in the live stream, but I'll do it real quick here for you. Go on to the MeetDamian TikTok channel, okay? Don't forget to follow me if you haven't done so already. Thank you for following me if you've done that. This link on the bio, my MeetDamian bio, the link tree, click on that, and it'll take you over to the link tree, and then this is where you get the link, the referral link for DeluxeAlgo. You click on that right there. It'll take you over to DeluxeAlgo's website. And by using my referral link, you'll get 75% off these indicators. You'll get 3 of them, right? But they usually charge $200, but you'll get it for like $49. You'll save 75% off by using my referral link there. And then once you sign up and you pay for that, you'll be able to get the invite-only indicators here. And you go over to your indicators, and you go with the invite-only, and you get the DeluxeAlgo indicators right here. DeluxeAlgo trade, DeluxeAlgo money flow and divergence, and the Deluxe trap radar indicator. And the one that you're probably looking at with the super long, super short is just the regular DeluxeAlgo indicator that I got turned on my chart, and it gives you the signals here. Anyways, let's see what that can do here for the price of silver. So we had some signals here saying that we should short silver, and we need to be doing that here on March 2nd. And then it reminded you again that you should short silver, and it told you to do that here on March 11th. And sure enough, the price got knocked down. Okay. Now we are doing a little bit of a relief rally here, but you don't have a long signal yet here, at least not on the daily time frame. But let me get rid of the VRVP indicator and just look at this, just using moving averages here. On the daily time frame, you are above the red, the white, the blue, and the green moving average. You're above all the moving averages. You are actually, you could argue that you're bullish here on the price of silver, maybe long-term bullish. Maybe this was just one bad correction here, and we start marching our way up to higher prices. if we do march our way up to higher prices, I mean, you got some lower highs here to contend with. Here at 90 bucks here, and then another one here at $96. And that's confluent with this 618 golden pocket at 92 and 95 bucks here. I think this golden pocket is going to be your to get past until you can actually show that you can get past that $95 level there. And then moving on from there, maybe we might actually hit the 786 at 105 bucks here. But I think the targets, the upside in the near term are going to be $92, $95 for the price of silver. And then downside, you do got moving averages that should cradle you and act as support. But if we start losing these moving averages here between like 74 bucks and where we are right now at 79, then support probably doesn't come in, at least moving average wise, until you get this 200-day moving average at 60 bucks. And that's also confluent with this 0.236 at $63. So yeah, if you don't hold 75 bucks here, you're gonna probably come down to 60 bucks here on the price of silver. Let's see, DZ's in the chat here. It says, when meme coin's gonna move? You bought KeyCat a few days ago and it hasn't moved at all. Yeah. I think that has to do with the peace talks and the ceasefire. The ceasefire, if you've been watching the news, DZ, the ceasefire is about to come to an end. And you could say that the ceasefire already ended because we already had the United States fire on an Iranian oil tanker yesterday. And then you had Iran firing on, oil tankers on Saturday. So, like, what's up with that? I think the ceasefire is over. I think we're going back to war again. And I can't imagine that's going to be good for the meme coins. So that's probably what's preventing your meme coin from going up. That's just my first guess. If you're asking me, and you are asking me, if I was your buddy on the street here, we're hanging out at the bar, that's what I would be telling you right now. It's like, I think meme coins aren't going to go up until we get a ceasefire. If we get an extension of the ceasefire tomorrow or Wednesday, then meme coins will probably will be going up, and you'll be like, yeah, man, I'm so glad I got into KeyCat this weekend. But you kind of have to wait until we find out what's going on in the Middle East. I think that's what's stopping things from more money going into the meme coins. You're welcome, G-Juz, and you're welcome, T-Man there. Thank you guys for smashing that like button. We got 1,500 likes here on TikTok. Let's see if we can continue smashing that button, that like button, to get to 2,000 likes here. All you gotta do is double tap on your screen, and that's how TikTok knows that we got a good stream going on here. Appreciate that. Doesn't cost you anything to smash that like button. Same thing for my YouTube guys. Let's see if we can get the likes to match the amount of people that are in the live stream right now. I think that should be easy enough to do, right? All right. Price of silver. We kind of give you downside targets, upside targets here. Do we want to take a look at our buddy Rave? Crazy cryptocurrency here. Trading at $1. On Friday, it was at $29. So, very brutal weekend Rave had. What's the rave going on with Rave here? What's the rave with Rave? I'll tell you what's going on with Rave. We got a blow off top here. Possibly some manipulation going on, and it got called out. At least that's what I heard on the news about this coin. But yeah, we got up to like $28.35 here Friday night, and then Saturday, like morning or afternoon, that's when the bad news came. This thing just dropped like a rock. It dropped like 86% on Saturday, another 78% on Sunday, completely destroying all the longs. Oh my god. And just completely destroying all the Fibonacci levels there. Like, some of these levels kind of stuck for like maybe a few minutes, maybe an hour, before we ended up going down to the next Fibonacci level. And I actually did an emergency video about Rave when it was at like $7 or $8. I was like, hey, if it doesn't hold $6.80, we could end up coming down to $2. Now, why did I say $2? Well, you got some moving averages here at $2 here. You got the 50-day moving average at $2. And you also got the 100-day moving average sitting at $1.18. But turning on my VRVP indicator, my handy dandy VRVP indicator, was showing me that there was like no support whatsoever for Rave until you come down to the value area. The value area high, this white line, was sitting at $2. Now, like, that's the target, guys. And sure enough, it went down to but then it decided to do more than that. It decided to kill everybody, and it took us all the way down to the value area low. Value area low, this white line, the other white line, right, was sitting at like 4 cents here. And let's see, today we came down to 45 cents. So there you go. There you go. VRVP indicator is still useful for crazy ass coins like Rave. And the VRVP indicator would have gave you an idea. It's like, hey, you know, maybe the bleeding will come to a stop at the value area low. And also the point of control is like kind of right next to the value area low, sitting at 60 cents. So 45 to like 60 cents is like the better areas to be buying Rave if you still want to participate in this coin here for a long. Doodle says Biddy short incoming. Yeah, we would talk about that earlier in the live stream. We were saying that Bitcoin looks like it's ready to roll over and go to low prices here. We'll take a look at Bitcoin one more time here. Bitcoin at $76,200. I think it actually pushed up to higher prices since I've been live. Let's see. Let's get into the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, we see some 15-minute green candles showing up here on Bitcoin. I think when I started a live stream, we're at like 75k, 75,800. Now we're at like 76,200. Okay. Should I now look at the day trading time frames for Bitcoin? We're now looking at the 15-minute time frame. What are we doing here? We are above the moving averages here on the 15-minute time frame. So that's bullish to see. You're still going up and to the right here, up and to the right. But we kind of topped out here early this afternoon. We saw Bitcoin at 76,600, and it passed that level. Let me let this thing readjust itself. On the 15-minute time frame, you got a point of control at 76,300. If you get past 76,300, there might not be that much resistance until Bitcoin gets up to this white line, the value area high, sitting at 77,300. I'd be looking for that as a target T upside. If you want a long Bitcoin right now, take some profit at 77,300. You might get like another 1,000-point move up in the price of Bitcoin here. Do we got the momentum to do that? Let's see what the MACD is showing here. MACD is showing selling pressure dying down, buying pressure coming in, and a MACD crossover to the upside here on the 15-minute time frame. We might actually be seeing higher prices here for Bitcoin later on tonight, guys. Just looking at what I'm seeing here on the MACD. Doodle, you want to short Bitcoin right now? I mean, prices are marching up, but I think prices could continue marching up to higher prices here. You got a MACD crossover on the 15-minute time frame. Let's see what the 1 hour is doing. Buying pressure is dying down here, but you know the buying pressure could continue dying down while the price is still ever so slightly rising up to higher prices here. On the money flow on the 1 hour time frame, money flow is kind of increasing, or I mean it's negative, but it's kind of increasing here in the 1 hour time frame. Are we about to get a trade deal? Are we about to get an extension of the ceasefire? Is Donald Trump gonna taco? You know, tomorrow is Taco Tuesday, guys, and there's this funny thing going on in finance world, in cryptocurrency and stock world, where we say Trump always chickens out. Taco. Maybe we're gonna get that tomorrow, and Donald Trump's like, oh, you know, we made some positive developments in the peace talks, and we're willing to do a 2-week ceasefire again, like we did 2 weeks ago. And see where we're at with Iran and the peace talks. And it's like, bro, they don't want to talk to you guys. They even say they don't want to talk to you guys, but yet you're trying to do peace talks. And you're over here extending the ceasefire and whatnot. I thought one of the goals of the war with Iran was to go get rid of their nuclear materials. Where's that at? Where are the nuclear materials? That's what I want to know. How are you going to have a ceasefire and say that we're having a peace talk if we're not able to get those nuclear materials? And then what's the incentive for them to actually give you the nuclear materials? Like, you blew up everything militarily, but they still have the nuclear materials. And what are you going to do? Just continue dropping bombs on a bunker that already got blown up? They're just going to wait you out. You know, the real thing that would hurt is if they actually destroyed the oil facilities on Karg Island. I think everybody knows about that by now. But they don't want to do that because that would spike up the price of oil. So to me, I feel like Donald Trump is not willing to do what he needs to do to get Iran to capitulate. And because of that, this thing is getting drawn out longer than it has to be. They need I mean, they could try to do peace talks one more time, but they shouldn't extend the ceasefire over BS because they can't get them to say yes to peace. If they can't get them to say yes, then they probably should not go for the bridges and power plants, which I think is a waste of time. I think they should go for the oil facilities. The blockade kind of helps. You can see that Iran doesn't like the blockade, but going for the oil facilities would actually hit them in the pocket, hit them where it hurts. And then they might try to give you the nuclear materials. But who knows? T-Man is asking about Barra USD. Okay. Doodle says you never really liked using the MACD, but you might have to look into that. Yeah, I would use it. Like, you know, not one indicator is going to be the end all be all, but it kind of helps you give you an idea. It's like the direction of the market when it's clear. Sometimes it's not clear. If it's like wishy-washy and it's going up and down, up and down, up and down on the buying pressure and the selling pressure, then that doesn't really help. But, you know, I showed you here in the 15-minute time frame here that looks like the selling pressure is dying down here and buying pressure is coming in. So I think higher prices might be coming in later on tonight, at least in the next few hours here. And then we'll see. You know, maybe before you go to bed, that's when Bitcoin will chill out and actually start selling off. And that might be the time to actually short it, right before you go to bed. All right, T-Man, let's go ahead and take a look at Barra for you. And we'll look at the daily time frame here. We're looking at Barra on Coinbase Exchange, currently trading at 40 cents, up 0.75% today. And I'm already seeing like potential double bottom action going on right here. That's nice to see, potentially. Looks like 38 cents needs to hold here for Barra, and we could probably see higher prices. You're only about 2 cents above that. I do got the VRVP indicator fired up, but let me go ahead and gather some more data here. We're going to go get data going all the way back to like December of last year. And this is showing that we got a point of control highest volume node here at 45 cents. That's going to be tough for us to get past. But if we can get past 45 cents, then I think it gets a little bit easier for us to go to higher prices here. You might get knocked down by this 50-day moving average at 48 cents. So knock that down. I think 44 and then 48 cents are going to be your targets to the upside. And then after that, we got a 100-day moving average. 56 cents could be the next target. And then we got the value high at 71 cents. I think that should be your long-term, or if you're in it for a swing trade target long at 71 cents here. That's almost a double in price from where we are right now. You should be happy with that. So those are your targets. You know, you can just use the moving averages, and then if you got the VRVP indicator here, you can use that value area high as your target to the upside. It's kind of like, you know, if you don't have the VRVP indicator, and I know some people don't, but this high, this candlewick high here, back here on March 15th, it's at like 70, 71 cents. I mean, that's confluent with the value area high. So I would target that candlewick high here on the daily time frame as your ultimate swing trade long-term target for now. I do like the fact that the super long signals are coming in here for Barra chain. So you might be seeing some upward price action. Let's see if the momentum is cooking up to higher prices for us here. MACD indicator here. MACD indicator showing that there is buying pressure. However, buying pressure kind of dying down a little bit. Maybe it just might ever so slightly increase higher, and if we get like, you know, solid green candles here in the next 2 days here, that'd be nice to see. But I'm a little bit, this is like kind of like a caution signal. If this continues with the light green on the MACD indicator, if we start seeing buying pressure dying down, then you're going to start seeing this blue line curving down, and then it will eventually curve down far enough where it will actually cross the orange line to the downside, and then you get the selling pressure showing up. So this is kind of like a yellow light, okay? Not like a red light, but a yellow light saying caution. It might go down on you, and not in a good way. Not in the way that you would like it to go down on you. I had to put that joke in there. Let's see. Money flow. Money flow for Bera. Money flow is in the negative. See this magenta red stuff here? However, you are kind of like on the momentum. The momentum is like the gray stuff here. You are making higher low, green bind on here. You got a red cell dot. Ever so slightly, you can kind of see there's a red cell dot there. But if we get like another green buy dot here, maybe this pushes up to like pushes us up to like 44, 48 cents. And then the other thing I like here is that you got the hyperwave is in the green. It started turning green on April 10th here. Maybe this could lead us up to higher prices here. But if the hyperwave turns red and we don't see a green buy dot coming anytime soon here, like tomorrow or the next day, then I think, you know, this thing might be on its way down to lower prices. And if it is going to go back to low prices, like what are low prices here? Lower prices, like basically don't go lower than 38 cents, right? We already said that, you know, or it could get really bad for bear chain here. Let's see, it has been worse than 38 cents. We saw bear chain go down on February 6th to like 33 cents. Yeah. But maybe this thing is ready to pop up to higher prices. Even if there is a war in the Middle East, maybe this thing is going to continue popping up to higher prices. You got the super long signal saying that it could. T-Man is asking me, is there anything that I am watching? I am like just currently trading Bitcoin and nothing too crazy. What am I doing? I am long in oil. And I am shorting Bitcoin because I think that we might see the fighting start up again in the Middle East, unless we get this 2-week extension. Unless Trump chickens out again, I think we're gonna see. And I don't think Trump's gonna chicken out because last time I read, let me see if I got this article here. Trump did say here, this is an article from CNN, Trump says that the ceasefire ends on Wednesday evening and a further extension is highly unlikely. So I don't think Trump even wants to do an extension. So there you go. Unless things change for the better, I think cryptocurrencies are going to get hammered later on this week, and I think oil is going to be going up to higher prices here. So those are the trades that I'm in. But you never know. You really never know with this Trump administration. They always pull something out of their hat in the last second. I think Trump is actually getting fed up because he actually gave them one more lifeline 2 weeks ago by doing an extension of the ceasefire, or doing a ceasefire. And Iran is saying that they don't want the United States doing blockades on them. But then Iran's also kind of threatening people and threatening to fire on ships that don't actually pay a toll. So like it's a mess, and I think the United States needs to clean up the mess before we see cryptocurrencies actually go up to like into a bull market again. Cyber Doggy says, you know, Bitcoin has went up since the war started. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen Bitcoin climb up. But then what did it do before the war started? It was already selling off. Like we had a really bad February, and was it February 27th is when the war started? So it was like Bitcoin already like was sniffing things out as like what the next move was gonna be, right? We had this sell-off here in February. So yeah, the war started, right? When did it start? Like Saturday the 27th, and we saw Bitcoin go down to 64K, and now we see Bitcoin at 76K. And I think the only reason why you're seeing Bitcoin at 76K is because they keep talking about, you know, peace talks, and we are in a ceasefire technically. But I mean, you could say that the ceasefire got broken because the United States shot an Iranian oil tanker yesterday, and then the Iranians shot like 2 or 3 oil tankers on Saturday. So is that really a ceasefire? I don't think, you know, had that not happened, then maybe the price of Bitcoin would be at 80K right now. So it's like almost imagine like if there wasn't a war going on, maybe Bitcoin would actually be at 80K by now. But we do got a war going on, and we're only up like $10,000 above where the war, beginning of the war for Iran. Like Bitcoin's only up like $12,000. 12,000 points higher than what it was on the 27th. Is when that was like the 27th or the 28th. Yeah. So like imagine if there was no war. Maybe we'd be up here. But because we are in a war, we're down here. But like there's a possibility that we might not be in a war. And that's the only reason why we're up here at 76K. But then what happens if they start shooting again? We might be back down here again. Everyone's still waiting for 49K. I actually have 52K marked on my chart here. The reason being is because if I look left, you know, there is some sideways trading action going on here at 52K back here in like February of 2024. It's temporary. There's a little bit of sideways trading action going on there, but the majority of the trading action and support, I believe, will be at 43K. This is where the Bitcoin ETFs started buying Bitcoin. Right now, the Bitcoin ETFs, they bought Bitcoin at 43, 45, 46K, somewhere around there. They can sell Bitcoin at 76K and still make a profit. But I think if we get down to 43K, the Bitcoin ETFs, they're not going to sell their Bitcoin at a loss. They'll just wait. The institutional investors, they're not going to sell at a loss. But because they won't be selling at all, that's going to at least take some of the selling pressure off. I think this is where the bleeding will stop. I think 43K might be the bear market low for Bitcoin if we ever get down to that area. This is where I would be interested in buying Bitcoin, because think about this second. If Bitcoin goes to 43K, right? And then we jump right back up to all-time highs at 126K, you're going to triple your money. That's a 3x right there. I think buying Bitcoin at 43K makes a lot more sense than buying Bitcoin at 76K or even 63K. I think buying 43K Bitcoin makes a hell of a lot more sense. That's what I'm actually waiting for myself to start adding into my Bitcoin bags. That's why I think, in Bitcoin we have 4-year cycles. We have 3 good years and then one bad bear market year. And the bear market year usually lasts about a year. I think we're halfway through the mess of this bear market in Bitcoin right now. And I think this war is what's going to prevent Bitcoin from going up to higher prices. And the only reason why we're going up right now is because there's a possibility that the war might be coming to an end, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. And if it doesn't happen, I got a plan for the worst case. And the worst case is that we do go to lower prices and we could see 60, 50, or 40K Bitcoin, and I'd be interested in buying Bitcoin at that point. And I think by that point, when Bitcoin actually does hit 40K, maybe that would be the end of the war, or the war should be coming to an end later on this year, and that will be when Bitcoin's at 43K. In previous bear markets, Bitcoin didn't drop more than 5% lower than previous all-time highs. Previous all-time high for Bitcoin in the last cycle was 69K, and we've already dropped down to like 60K already. So I think that already broke that rule that you had right there. We went down to 60K on February 6th. And if I just measure out real quick here from 69K to 60K. We were already down 12% from the previous all-time highs when we hit 60K. So I'm not sure if that rule of yours actually makes sense. You know, people said the same thing when in the last cycle when Bitcoin went to 69K and the previous cycle high before that was like 19K. Bitcoin actually went down to $15,000 before we bottomed out. So that threw people in for a loop too. So it's really hard to like come up with hard, fast rules. What I know is usually about a year after the all-time high is when the bear market low comes in for Bitcoin, right? We had the all-time high in October of 2025. I'm expecting October of 2026 to be when Bitcoin might be approaching its bear market low, wherever that price might be. It usually takes about a year for like the bad stuff to like completely wash itself out. You know, I don't know what's going to be the next shoe to drop, but if Bitcoin continues dropping down into like 60 or 50K, there's going to be a lot of people hurting, including the cryptocurrency exchanges. There might be a cryptocurrency exchange that goes bankrupt, just like FTX. What if one of these exchanges goes bankrupt right now? What is that going to do to the price of Bitcoin and people's confidence in crypto? And it might not even be a bankruptcy. You guys remember what happened with Bybit last year? They got hacked and they lost billions and billions of dollars of Ethereum on their exchange, got taken away. What happens if that happened today? What do you think is going to happen to Bitcoin and Ethereum and the cryptocurrency market? I think prices will go lower if that happened today. So I'm wary, like, you know, like you could see some more bad news to bring the price down to like 50 or 40K. And then once that bad news passes over and everybody's scared and making fun of crypto again, you know, when people don't want to touch Bitcoin and crypto, that's when I want to get into it. Right now, I know there's some people who are trying to long Bitcoin at 60K because they think that's like a 50% discount from the all-time high at 126K. And I'm just like, but is that actually the real bear market low though? I don't know. I think you know, because we got a war going on right now, I feel like right now it's harder to like convince people to buy Bitcoin when they're having a hard time putting gas in their gas tank with like $4, $5 a gallon gasoline, right? After you're done paying for gas to get to work, do you have any extra money to buy Bitcoin? Maybe you do, but does your friend, who you're trying to get into crypto, or is your friend able to afford to buy Bitcoin when they can barely afford to pay for their gas tank? And then also groceries are going up. You gotta think about like oil is not able to leave the Strait of Hormuz, and neither is the fertilizer. So the prices of all these goods here, right? Because of oil, you know, you gotta fill up a freight truck, you know, with diesel to bring it to the grocery store. That's going to cost them money. Then they're going to pass that to the grocery store, and then those prices get passed on to the consumer, which is me and you. And if you know, by the time you buy your food and you gas up your gas tank, do you have enough money to buy crypto? Like I said, maybe you can, maybe I can, you know. Well, I can, yeah. But like maybe you can, but like, can your friend do it? The friend that you're trying to get into crypto, can they also fill up their gas tank, buy groceries, and then also buy Solana and Ethereum and XRP? It's kind of tough to do that when we got a war going on in the Middle East. It takes time for stuff to bleed out. You know, I've been in cryptocurrency since 2017 bull market. I saw the 2018 bear market. You know, I saw Bitcoin bottom out near like 6K in 2018, and people thought that was the bottom. And then we had one more capitulation event in like December that brought the price from 6,000 to 3,000, and people were like scared out of their minds. And this was like, you know, a year after Bitcoin was at $19,000. So it takes a year for the bear market to like play itself out, is what I've seen and noticed with crypto. And then in 2021, you know, we saw Bitcoin go to 69K, and then we had the bear market in 2022. And people were like, oh, well, if Bitcoin goes to 19K, that's the previous all-time high. It never goes below the previous all-time high. And sure enough, it did. And FTX went bankrupt and brought a lot of other exchanges down with it. Like BlockFi went down with it. And people lost confidence in Bitcoin again. It went down to 15K when 19K was the previous all-time high. So that threw people in for a loop. And we just don't know what's going to be the next shoe to drop. I'm pretty sure there's a cryptocurrency exchange that is sweating bullets right now because they don't have enough customers and enough volume, because people are already giving up on cryptocurrencies right now. And if they go bankrupt, or if they get hacked, then you're gonna see Bitcoin go down to like 60K, 50K, 40K, maybe even 30K. Jack of all trades says he thinks it'll go up to like 78K before it goes down again to 75K. Yeah, I mean, we were just there a few days ago, right? We were at 78K. That's actually where I got my stop loss on my short right now, is at 78K. Because if we get, you know, if we push up higher than that, I might be more interested in shorting Bitcoin at 84K if we go up there. 84K is the previous support area that we saw back here in December and November of last year. That's going to be now resistance. Now that we're below it, it's going to be resistance. And then also you can see this 200-day moving average, which usually gets respected. Whether you respect it or not, I know that the trading bots respect the 200-day moving average. So the trading bots will probably enter shorts, and they'll take profit on their longs if we ever get up to that 200-day moving average, which is currently sitting at $86,000. Remember, it is a moving target, so it will, you know, the next day it will drop down, the next day it will drop down, the next day it will drop down. By the time the price creeps up to like 84, 85K, this 200-day moving average might actually be right where that 84K level is at. X marks the spot. That might be the best time to short Bitcoin at 84K. But, you know, I'll take a shot, you know, with shorting Bitcoin at 76K, which I already did. And I got my stop loss at 78K. So I am bearish on Bitcoin because of what I've seen on the charts. You know, I got this DeluxeAlgo short signal saying that we need to be shorting Bitcoin, even though we are climbing up right now. It could be temporarily before we roll over. And then I just know that we got this possible ceasefire coming to an end tomorrow or Wednesday. And if they start shooting again, I highly doubt we're going to see 84K. Let's see, Jack of all trades, what are you saying here? Head and shoulder pattern on the 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look at that and see if I can see that as well. What do you mean by head and shoulder? Are you calling this a shoulder here? This is a head and this is a possible shoulder. Doesn't look like a head and shoulder pattern to me. It just looks like it's going up and to the right. It looks more like kind of like a bull flag, just consolidating near 75 and 76K. Hey Soul, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't really see a head and shoulder on the 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin. But you see, I have marked this off as a potential rising parallel channel. We did hit the bottom of the channel recently, I believe, or close to it on Sunday. You did get super long signals here. So yeah, there are some long signals here on the shorter time frame saying that Bitcoin could probably pump its way up to higher prices here. We could see 78, 79K maybe, who knows, tomorrow. But I think that would be even better areas to try to enter a short for a long-term short. You could probably just do a scalp long right now. And I've done scalp longs on Bitcoin. I did a scalp long last night on Bitcoin. Right, because this was last night. This was Sunday afternoon going to Sunday night. I saw this already, and I already took a long, and I sold this this afternoon here. And yeah, I'm still in a short on Bitcoin as well, waiting to see if this thing will drop down to lower prices here. My short is long term. I'm trying to long term short Bitcoin because I think the war is going to start up again here. And then I'm also taking longs when I see them, just for scalp longs, like temporary scalp longs here. Maybe I could have stayed on the long and maybe ride it up to like 70, 79K. Let's look at the MACD real quick here on the 1 hour time frame. You can see that buying pressure is dying down, so I don't like that on the 1 hour time frame. Or look at this on the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame, we looked at this earlier tonight, and we saw that selling pressure dying down and buying pressure coming in, and you're gonna MACD cross over to the upside. However, if that buying pressure isn't gonna stay strong, and right now you can see you got a light green candle here on the 15-minute, that's not good. We could easily do a MACD crossover to the downside after we just did a crossover to the upside. Like it could just be whoop and then back down again. Kind of like you saw here, like it went whoop and then back and then drop down again on you. There could be some wishy-washy price action going. Oh, now look at this, huh? I talked about it. Now we're getting a solid green candle here in the 15-minute time frame. So you would need to see this and more green for us to go to higher prices here on Bitcoin. Astro says possible drop to 75 in the next hour. Maybe. King Louis, am I still in Costa Rica? Yeah, I will be here till July. I'm here for like 3 months in Costa Rica. Yep. Just enjoying myself. I'm looking forward to doing some more live streams like on the beach. I'll be on the beach. I'm changing Airbnbs in July, and I'll be in the beach town in July. So you'll hopefully be able to see me do some lives on the beach. Yes, I'll try to do like an early morning, or not an early morning, but like a morning afternoon stream on the beach, and then I'll do the nighttime stream back on the computer, looking at charts with you guys here for the nighttime stream. Oh yes, the Tikas are very nice here. That is one of the benefits of coming down to Costa Rica. Joey Shelton says that short's gonna get you cut. Maybe. It might. I got my stop loss really tight though, so it won't be too much cooking. And I'll just probably re-enter the short at like 70 or 79K. As a day trader, you don't always win every single trade. But I already did a scalp long earlier today, and I didn't sell the highs for the day. Sometimes I'm able to get close to the high. But I already made money long in Bitcoin early this morning. And now I'm more interested in shorting Bitcoin. No, well, alright, so I actually do think later on this week and going into next week that prices of Bitcoin is going to be lower, so I am looking for a long-term short. I'm trying to short Bitcoin down to like 67, 63K if I can. We'll go back to the daily time frame here. But these are my levels. I'm looking for 67K for that short. That's my take profit. I might take partial profit at 73K and then take some more partial profit at these moving averages here. And then take full profit at that 67K level there. I don't know if we're actually going to go to 63K. And I think there'll be a fight before we, push our way down there. But I would like to take profit at 67K. I think that could happen for sure. And then also 70K and 73K. Oh, look at that. Sir Nap Time has showed up here on the YouTube chat. 1 hour just flipped bullish on what asset? Are we still talking about Bitcoin here, Sir Nap Time? And what is your criteria for flipping bullish? What makes you feel like we're bullish on Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame? Is it because we got above the moving averages here? That's one thing that you could say is bullish here for Bitcoin on the 1 hour. We had the super long signals here that came in last night. I already did my scalp long on Bitcoin here. But here in the MACD, I see buying pressure dying down here, so that's not bullish there to me. This is not bullish. This is like a yellow light, not a red light, like a yellow light saying caution. We could be seeing lower prices here. Although money flow does look nice. The trend is to the upside here. But you got a red sell dot here that came in earlier this afternoon, and I don't see a green buy dot. If I saw a green buy dot, I'd be like, okay, maybe Bitcoin is going to be going up to higher prices here. Sir Nap Time says, check out the Discord. All right, we'll look at the MeetDamian Discord. Let's go check out the Discord here. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy. This is the MeetDamian Discord, which is free to join here, guys. And let's see. Is this your chart here? Sir Naptime says you found the one in the pound. The BTC broke the 1 hour bullish again. And let's see. This is your chart here. You got your Fibonacci. Change of character here. Okay. And that's it. Just you're going based off of the market structure. You think Bitcoin is going to be flipping bullish. I think we need some more candle closes near 76K or even higher to be sure that we're going to see higher prices here for Bitcoin. Dizzle says we are at support resistance. Yeah, I believe so. Guys, if you want to join the MeetDamian Discord, there's a good amount of us here. We talk about the charts, we talk about the news, we talk about what's affecting our trades here. You'll see when I go live. I post up when I go live here. Okay. And over here on TikTok, right? For my TikTok guys, you just click on that MeetDamian link tree. And that'll take you to the link tree. And then you just click on this MeetDamian server. Discord server is free to join. And it'll get you the invite link for the Discord. And for my YouTube guys, you guys can get that link tree link in my bio over here. Click on that, and it'll take you over to the MeetDamian link tree. And then you click on the MeetDamian server to get the invitation for the Discord server. Thank you, Sir Nap Time, for putting in that link there for YouTube, for the YouTube guys. Well, I've been live for about almost 2 hours. That's normally how long I go live. You guys have any other? I don't know if I want to ask for another request because I actually do want to end the live stream here. But yeah, guys, my thoughts on Bitcoin is that we could climb up temporarily tonight. I saw that in the 15-minute time frame that there was some juice here on the momentum on the MACD indicator, where we started seeing buying pressure showing up here. MACD crossover to the upside. So I think Bitcoin could go to higher prices if it's gonna sustain the momentum. But if it doesn't, I think we could, creep up to higher prices, and then right before we go to bed, I think Bitcoin might start heading down to lower prices while we're all sleeping. And then we'll have to see what it's like when we wake up tomorrow morning. I think, you know, levels, temporary levels to the downside. I think we could see 73K. Should be a support area for Bitcoin. But I mean, we kind of front ran 73K already. Like here on Sunday, we went to 74K. So maybe like 73, 74K is levels to be looking forward to the downside on Bitcoin. To the upside, obviously 78K, which is what we saw back here on Friday. We have to remember, we were doing this here on Friday. We went to 78K because we were all told by the Trump administration that the Strait of Hormuz is open and that we're all like singing Kumbaya and holding hands together here. And then on Saturday, Iran decides to shoot a couple of oil tankers. And then Sunday, the United States decides to shoot an Iranian oil tanker. So are we really having a ceasefire here if they're still shooting at each other's oil tankers? I think that's why you're seeing the price of oil, the price of Bitcoin lower than it was on Friday. And I don't know if we can actually get back up to where we were on Friday unless we get a ceasefire, for sure. People stop shooting their oil tankers. Then you'll probably see Bitcoin head up to higher prices. Of course, Rich, I don't believe the propaganda on either side. I'm just saying, I see what happens. Like, I listen to what people say, and then I see on Saturday, they're shooting oil tankers, and then Sunday, the United States is shooting an oil tanker. So it's like, I pay attention to what I see, and I don't listen to anything that I hear. And I think that's why you're seeing the price of Bitcoin struggle right now. All right, guys. But yeah, that's going to be it for this live stream. We're going to now listen to some outro music. And we'll plan on doing this same time tomorrow. 8 p.m. Eastern time is when I go live. We go live about like an hour or two. Usually we try to do 2 hours. And yeah. If you guys want to see me show up on your feed here, don't forget to follow me here on TikTok and also subscribe to the MeetDamian YouTube channel. And check out some of my other videos, especially my tutorial videos, my TikTok guys. I do have videos here that talk about like the VRVP indicator, which we've already seen on the charts here, and then also show you how to use the Fibonacci. And for the very brand new guys who are new to charting, I also got a video here about how to read a candlestick chart here. So those are your videos that I pinned to the top of the channel here for the TikTok guys who are interested in learning more about how to trade and invest. And then also I do have some videos here that I recently did. I did one on Siren, and then another one on the price of oil, and I did one here on Rave and VVV tokens. So you might want to check those videos out too. And then for my YouTube guys, you can see that also here on the MeetDamian YouTube. Check out some of my YouTube shorts here. You got the VVV token, oil prices, Rave coin, and Siren there. All right, so you guys got some stuff to look at. But then you can always come onto these live streams and look at the charts here with me. Try to figure out what might be coming next year. I think, like I said, I think Bitcoin might creep up to higher prices. I think by the time we all go to bed, that's going to probably be the high water mark for tonight. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin starts dropping while we're all sleeping in bed. Rich, we did talk about Rave. We talked about Rave earlier in the live stream. Yeah. Check out the replay gang. But also, I mean, you got my YouTube short. If you don't got that much time, you go right to it with the YouTube short. CME gap. CME gap on what? What is there a CME gap on? My thoughts on Rave. All right, I'll quickly go out look at Rave because I already have 2 people asking about it now. Let's see. Get into the 1 hour time frame. No, that's not good. But Rave clearly blew through all the Fibonacci levels that we could have identified through the weekend. I was interested in long and Rave at $9 or $10 because I thought that might have hold on Sunday, and then it didn't. So I was like, all right, whatever. This thing is definitely wants to go down to lower prices, and I don't want to stick around for that. I already predicted like $2 would be like where it might want to stop the bleeding, and it kind of did that for a little bit here before it decided to drop down even lower to 40-cent level here. The 1 hour time frame, you do got a long signal that came in. Rave currently trading at $1.05 here. and you got like, I mean, there's really not much resistance going up to higher prices here. If it does want to pop up here, you might get a temporary pop up. If you do get a temporary pop up, this 50-day moving average is sitting at $2. I think, you know, anybody right now would just be happy to buy Rave at $1 and sell it for $2. That's a double in price right there. So I think $2 is your next target to the upside for Rave. Okay. But if I throw in this VRVP indicator here real quick, you'll see that you know, most of the volume for the people that were buying and selling Rave, they were doing it at, you know, basically 60 cents here. And the value area low is at 45 cents. So this is your better area to buy, 45 and 60 cents if you can. Which leads me to believe that, you know, we could drop down from $1 to like, you know, 60 or 45 cents. And that's about like a 50% drop. So you're actually right now, if you're trying to long Rave, you're risking like 50% drop to try and get like 100% gain, maybe. Still a very risky coin to get into. Rich says, there's a golden pocket retrace for Rave at $14, $18. I don't know if mine is similar to yours, but I have a golden pocket at 17, $18 here. Yeah, that's where my 618, 65 golden pocket's hanging out at. Okay, all right, guys, that's gonna be it for this live stream. Let's plan on doing this again tomorrow. And thank you, Adam, for signing up for the Discord. Look forward to seeing you there. That's the best place to stay in touch with me when I'm not live streaming. We have a pretty active Discord with a bunch of traders telling you what they're getting into and you know, sharing their thoughts and opinions about, you know, what trades to get into. So I think you're gonna like it over there, and I look forward to seeing you there. Take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. Yes, Sir Nap Time. That is a Gronkowski jersey I was wearing. I was waiting for someone to mention something about it, but no one said anything. Glad that you picked up on it. Yeah, Gronkowski was one of my favorite Patriot players. And I guess I'm in the mood for Patriots because they're about to do the draft here later on this weekend, so I'm already amped up and ready for it. Go Pats!